Hey friends, welcome back to our Wednesday check-in call. I hope you know that you can take advantage of this every single Wednesday. We hop on a Zoom, and for the first part of it, which isn't recorded, it's just us having a conversation with all the other women who are able to hop on. Sometimes there's two, sometimes there's eight, and we celebrate our wins and we talk about some things that might be challenging us on our hormone journey. And then we dive into a short training. The trainings on Wednesday check-ins is always around mindset because that is such a big piece of us accomplishing our goals. So today we're going to talk about one of my absolute favorites. So I'm so glad that you're here. The reason it's my favorite is because it's one of those sneaky things that can either quietly sabotage your progress or completely change your life when you start learning how to flip the script. So today we're going to talk about the two voices that we all have in our heads, and I have named them the badass and the weak nag. And let's be honest, we already know which one has been much louder lately. Am I right? But here's the deal. These two voices are both part of you. I have them too. They're both part of me. Understanding their role is the first step to taking your power back and changing the script. So let's start with the weak nag. Okay. And when I envision these things, I envision, like, do you remember the old cartoons where it was like the little angel on one shoulder and the little devil on the other shoulder? Okay. That's how I imagine the weak nag and the badass. So the weak nag, she's the one that pops up just when you're about to make a change. And she's not mean, she's very quiet, and she's just really committed to keeping you safe and small. And the weak nag will sometimes say things like, and I'm regarding this to balancing hormones, maybe losing weight, feeling better, all of those things. You can hear the weak nag already saying, oh, you've tried things like this before. You're too tired. What if it doesn't work for you? What if you're the only person it doesn't work for? What if you're too busy? What if you fail? Let's just start Monday. Let's not start today. You're not like those other women. You can't lose weight through the summer. Like, you hear all the things. And if you have a minute, just quietly brainstorm, like grab your journal or pen and paper and just think of all the things that run through your head, and even write down some of the ones I mentioned if they resonated with you. This weak nag, she runs on fear. She craves comfort. Like, staying exactly where we are, we may not be happy, but at least we know what to expect. That's the weak nag. She wants to avoid all rejection, discomfort, risk, or even attention, even good attention. She will sabotage your best intentions because she's afraid of change, even a good change. Did that resonate with any of you? I know I was afraid. Okay, now let's talk about the badass. She sits over here on this shoulder. Now she's the part of you that had you pulling your phone out that day and wanting to learn more. She's bold, she's brave, she's done playing small. She doesn't need everything to be perfect, and she doesn't wait until she feels ready. She leads with truth, her truth, not out of fear. And you can already hear her. She'll say things like, we don't shrink, we rise. We've done hard things before. Let's just get started, even if it's just messy, because you know that messy action, even a little bit of messy action, moves the needle. You hear her say things like, you were made for this. This time is different. You're in a different place. Like, she's your biggest cheerleader. Let's show up today, even if it's just 1% better than we were yesterday. And here's the truth. Both voices live in all of us. The question we need to be asking is, which one is running the show? Which voice is loudest and more dominant? So I'll give you two examples. When I started my hormone balancing journey, I wouldn't say I was an all-time low in my life. I don't really feel like I was at a low. I was more disappointed that I had tried so many things and had failed. I had overweight mama, overweight grandmothers, overweight aunts. Every woman that I knew in my family was overweight. So I had rested on, well, it's probably just genetics. Can't change that. I've done this before. I gained my weight back. I did all the hard things like exercise hard. I gained my weight back. So it was kind of like, what could possibly be different? I remember the first time after I had balanced some hormones and I was feeling good, a part of me that wanted to start sharing online. And the weak nag, she was so super loud. And she said things like, no one will care. You're going to look silly. You're not an expert. But then there was this badass over here that was like, Amy, you're the woman who needs to be heard because there's other people that might be struggling similar to me. And every time I heard this voice, I tried very hard to focus on the brave voice, the one that wanted to expand my life. And like weight loss, the weak nag was over here going, you've done it all, tried it all, it didn't work before. But then there was the badass over here saying, what if it worked? What if you felt better? What if you were more confident? What happened if you don't lose a pound, but you feel better? You smile more, you're more patient, you're happier. Would that be enough? And in all honesty, that would be enough, but that wasn't the end goal. Like, I'm just going to be very transparent. I think I would still be a bit disappointed. Luckily, I had both transformations. So let's spend a little time and let's like go through some of those things that the weak nag is saying. So we're going to do this quick check-in together. Grab your journal again. I love a journal because it gives us power to write our thoughts out. So we're going to do 3 different little steps here. Step 1, what's a goal that you've been putting off or something you've been avoiding? It doesn't have to be a ginormous goal. Maybe it's a pantry clean out. Maybe it's making a healthy grocery list. Maybe it's going to bed on time or having a bedtime routine. What's something that you've been putting off, that you've been avoiding? And then step 2, what does the weak nag say about it? What does the weak nag say about it? What does the weak nag say when you decide you want to clean out your pantry? Or what does the weak nag say when you want to develop a simple bedtime routine? Oh, what's the point? You don't sleep good anyway. What is she saying? And tune into her. Let her speak. Let her have her space. Remember, we always talk on my lives that we want to be heard. The weak nag does too, actually. So write it all out. Then step 3, and go ahead and pause if you need to do that. Rewrite every thought that you wrote down from the voice of the badass. Okay, so again, I'll give you some examples. Feel free to pause. The example, the weak nag, you're too tired to work out. The badass, 10 minutes of movement is better than none. Let's get some energy. So take time to reflect. Let's do some more. And you can jot them out. And then if you need to, because you're watching the replay, you can message me, send me a text, and we can work on them together. What if it is healthy food is expensive? Okay, that's the weak nag. Everybody says that when there's actually no truth to it. It's cheaper to eat healthy than it is to consume a bunch of food that's unhealthy. Healthy food is more filling, so it lasts us longer. It keeps us satiated longer. Okay, so the nag is saying eating healthy is too expensive, or eating healthy is too much work, right? We got to clean the vegetables and clean the fruit and all the things. It's not grab and go. The badass might say, you're worth eating healthy for. You're worth it. I'm going to learn 2 healthy recipes a week, or 1 healthy recipe a week. So you flip it from this negativity, this comfort zone, to an empowering statement like, I'm just going to do this one time and see how I feel. Do you see the difference? Okay, so I love it when we get a chance to chit chat about this. If this kind of set well with you and you're just like, oh, I want to do this again, or you have some limiting beliefs and you want me to personally coach you through it, send me a text or just respond to the email that has this recording in it. And we will chat. We'll set up a time where we can one-on-one coach with each other. So I have homework for you to do. So this is the teacher and me coming in hot. So step one, or the first part of the assignment, it's just 3 little things. Create a badass identity statement. And you can repeat it to yourself daily. The one I love the most is, I'm a woman who keeps promises to herself. Did you promise to commit to this journey? Did you promise to tweak things in your diet? Did you promise to understand more of what the scale says instead of judge yourself from what the scale says? So a simple identity statement. And 2 weeks ago, we actually did I am statements. So any of those that you did will work. Then step 2, when the weak nag starts speaking, respond to her in truth. So if she's speaking, oh, you failed again, you didn't eat healthy, just let her know, hey, I'm on a journey. I'm not going to be perfect. I'm just here to ride my journey out. I'm here to do my best. Not every day is going to be perfect. Remind her of that. You can even, and I named mine. I'm not going to tell you what the name, because some of you have this name. And it's of no offense. It was just a random name. But when the weak nag gets loud in my head, I visibly picture this. And sometimes I actually do it. I just flicker off my shoulder. I hear her thoughts all the time. I don't need her loud right now. So I literally flicker off my shoulder, and I picture her just tumbling around, and I'm just like, screw off. And I say your name, and off she goes. It sometimes just helps to quiet it. Okay, so after you've created your identity statement, like, I am a woman who keeps promises to myself. I am worthy of all the beautiful things in life. I am worthy to try again, whatever your I am statement is. Then you're going to pay attention to the weak nag and flicker off if she gets too loud. Respond to her in truth. And then, and this makes a big difference, take a Post-it note, any kind, and write one badass line on a sticky note and put it on your mirror. Every day, probably multiple times a day, you will read that. And wherever you are is where your attention is at. Better phrase, whatever you tell yourself is your truth. And it is amazing that, ladies, your life will change the moment you realize you are not your thoughts, right? You're not the weak nag thoughts. You are the woman who chooses which thoughts to believe. And you have that power. Sometimes a sticky note that you see multiple times during the day is the one that needs to be read multiple times a day. The healing of the body, so much of it happens between what's between our ears, what our thoughts are. I mean, literally, whatever you tell yourself is your truth. If you told yourself, this is the next journey and you're going to go all in, and you believe this is going to work for you, that's your truth. If you told yourself, I'm willing to try, but nothing ever works for me, that too is your truth. Your brain has no reason to not believe what you tell it. So speak light into it, speak its truth from the badass standpoint. Okay, next week, I will see you next Wednesday. It is our big workshop. It is all around women and their diets and what they can do to best let go of their belly fat during this time phrase. It's called Balanced Bodies, the best diet for hormone balance, specifically menopause and belly fat loss. Jody Johnson, who is a menopause educator, she will be joining me on that call. I love it when the experts come in. It validates everything we learn on our TikTok live. And then you can also ask her questions and get her perspective and her knowledge, not just from my own. So I will see you next Wednesday. I'll drop the link in the email so that you can register if you haven't already registered. It is at the same time. And remember, the badass isn't louder. She's just waiting for you to listen. The badass isn't louder. She's just waiting for you to listen. So tune in to her. Ladies, I hope you have a great rest of your week, and I will see you on live or next Wednesday in the workshop.